Hello YouTube! Sorry about that. This is, of course, xKenDaKillax here. And I have a special video to make. And I really wanted to show my face for this. There's the camera. I really wanted to show my face for this because I feel like it's kind of a special privilege for me to even be making this video. So I really just want to kind of discuss to the camera, I guess, about who else wants Star Wars Battlefront 3, you know, the Facebook campaign, and, of course, the wish list that comes with it. This might be a more than one part, little mini episode thing, I guess. I just really want to go through this whole wish list and discuss it with, YouTube, I guess, with myself, with a camera. Isn't that kind of weird? Anyways, that's a TV back there, in case you're all wondering what's behind me. There's a lamp, I guess. Sound system, whatever. Who cares? So, I'm sitting here at my family's computer, and I have here the wish list on, excuse me, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm gonna basically just list off stuff about the wish list, and I'm just gonna start off right now. So, who else wants Star Wars Battlefront 3? It's a Facebook campaign. I'll probably leave a link in the description. It's basically a group on Facebook. Well, you can't become a fan anymore. That's a really old thing. You know, you can like it, but it's basically a group of, like, people. Not everyone on it is active on the thing, but it's getting a lot of likes. I think last time I checked, it was like 200,000 likes or something. I probably should have checked before I even started this video. But oh well, I'm just gonna do this. I'm not trying to copyright anything from, like, the wish list. And I'm kind of using this with permission, so I guess it's impossible to copyright. But I'm gonna leave links in the description for Dollar Films, the Facebook campaign, and maybe a couple other people. So I'm just gonna get started. So some basic requests were the ability to pick up weapons fallen on the battlefield, to add to this the ability to lie down like in Battlefront, and to be able to melee enemies when too close. Also, depending on how you fought and you took apart in battle, your armor, if you survived, should be battle-worn, and the choice between first and third person. So, some of this stuff, I don't know if I should really comment on this already, but I don't know if in the PSP versions you can switch first and third person, because I thought first person was pretty cool, but I like Battlefront more in third person. I think it's more of a third person game. And those are basically all of my requests, really. That's just the first part of the basic request. Some more things like repair bots to return as they were removed from Battlefront 2. I didn't get that. Actually, if you go and read your Battlefront 2 game manual, it'll say that they're in it, like an R5 unit or whatever they're called. But they're not in Battlefront 2. Maps from the previous Battlefront return, though to be greatly improved to have more of its movie's atmosphere. It should feel and look like from the movie, etc. Utapau should be a whole sinkhole with many levels along with the core ship in the sinkhole. So, I'm just going to continue then. Vehicles to be more like their movie counterparts. For example, the ARC 170 Starfighter has 3 sitting areas, front, middle, and back, while in Battlefront 2 it only had 1. Planets and locations from Battlefront and Battlefront 2 to make an appearance, such as Renvar, Besman, Dune Sea, and Yavin 4 Arena. So, the thing is that a lot of this stuff can be done in mods, which some PC gamers might comment, but this video is about making a console version of Star Wars Battlefront 3 that, you know, you can't mod. I'm pretty sure you can't mod the PlayStation version. You might be able to. I think you can mod every other version though. But whoever made this wish list, or whoever the admin is at Who Else Wants Star Wars Battlefront, probably had the PS2 versions like I did, because this was a lot of stuff I was wondering why it wasn't there. Like, a lot of those planets to return are actually in the map pack for the original Xbox for Battlefront 2, but that's a different story. I already explained that in another video. Another thing, yeah, I really want the maps and the vehicles to be a lot more like the movie things. Like, I never got why they would even change some of that stuff, because it doesn't make sense. I mean, even to the basic movie watchers, like, from my opinion, there's a couple levels of Star Wars fans. Like, there's the people who have just been introduced to it, the people who think it's cool but have only seen, like, all of the movies once, or some of the movies and not all of them, but they already think it's cool. The people who have seen all the movies, maybe own them, have seen them a couple times, maybe watch them, like, a couple times during the year, like, make it a tradition. And then there's also the people who know some extra stuff, which I think I'm in that category, to be honest. I don't know, though, what category I'm in. And then there's the people who know, like, a lot more stuff than the average Star Wars nerd. And then there's the people who just know everything. Like, they could be George Lucas's assistant, and they could name stuff he doesn't even know. Okay. Some advanced requests would be to have destructible environments so the effects of war can be seen, so cities can fall and be in ruin, forests will burn, and landscapes scorched. This should just be limited to land. Space should have it as well. In fact, the faction fleet should also be destructible environments so that there can be damage and torn like in the films. If the player is inside a ship whilst I have no idea what that says. I think it meant to say while being attacked, you should experience the force of the blast depending on where you are. The choice between single location battles and merged location battles resulting in much larger battles. Single location, for example, you battle for Theed, while in merged you battle for Theed, the grass, plains, and the swamps, and the Gungan city, with a space battle also. So larger maps for planetary battles. A ranking system that with leveling up grants you new perks, abilities to use. For example, if you were to rank up enough, you can pilot a frigate, then capital cruiser, and finally the fleet's flagship. Also, with ranking, you should be able to gain more contents for character customization. So that means, basically, they want you to, like, have classes, which, it's kind of like Halo, because Halo's finally resorted to making custom classes, but they still kept a couple defaults, so I think Halo has the class thing finally down. Excuse me. But at the same time, they also want these. Some new units for the factions, like the Commando unit, fans of the Republic Commando game. Where did you go? Holy cow, where did you... Oh. Fans of the Republic Commando game would like this feature. So, Republic Commando, Separatist Droid Commando, Empire Imperial Commando, Rebel Commando. And that basically is one of the only units I really want them to add, because in a lot of the KOTOR mods for Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Star Wars Battlefront, like, there's Jedi characters you can play as, and there's people with, like, swords and stuff. And, the fact that they added kind of like commando units in Battlefront 2, which I thought was kind of dumb. Like, the Clone Commando was okay. The Mana Guard kind of sucked, to be honest. I mean, it was okay, but it kind of sucked. Balthan Spy just sucked. I mean, it was cool being invisible, but half the time, it would just shut off and on for me, at least. And the Rebels... No, the Empire. The Empire got the Imperial, and the Imperial pilot, whatever dude. Imp Officer, yes, Imperial Officer, and I didn't really like him, so I thought that was kind of dumb. But I guess they could keep it in the game. I mean, that's why I liked Battlefront, I guess. Okay. Graphics to look more realistic, not cartoony, but to look like you're there on this planet in that battle. So, like Battlefield, real-life looking. In addition, on cartoony for content from the animated television series, Star Wars The Clone Wars content from there should be made to look more realistic, looking like more lifelike. Again, Battlefront 2 was cartoony. I thought Elite Squadron was kind of cartoony too. Renegade Squadron was kind of different though. More units on the battlefield for larger battles in both single player and multiplayer. In addition to the more units again for multiplayer, have more players. The PlayStation 3 game MAG or MAG or whatever, MOG maybe, can have 256 players battling. Imagine adding, for example, 2,000 NPC units, so 1128 versus 1128 battles, if possible. A bit of strategy. Okay, I actually want to comment on that. If they're gonna be making like that big of battles, only make it for single player, because if you ask me, if they added that for multiplayer, like that would be a lot of players, and then the only people you could play with, then you would have to wait forever for a game, basically. Which I doubt they would do that, and if they even did think of adding this, I think they would only put in single player, but hey, on a lot of PC games you can have really big battles, so I would like a lot of players online. What else do we have here? A bit of strategy to be in Battlefront 3. For example, certain locations have a shield generator protecting them from orbital bombardment, which are protected with turrets and surface-to-space ion cannons. So to bombard an area with a shield, the attackers must bring it down with a surface attack. With the release of Star Wars The Old Republic, maybe the addition of the Old Republic and the Sith Empire as new factions, bringing with them new content like new planets and locations, weapons, units, and vehicles. Also, if the Great Galactic War would be added, maybe the Mandalorian Wars could be also. Alright, second page here. I'm probably only going to go to like 15 minutes, so this might be a two-part video. Heroes of factions to return, but to be given health instead of a limited time bar. Depending on your rank, your hero may receive protection. For example, General Grievous would have Magna Guards if high enough. Also, heroes with lightsabers should be able to do the realistic damage of the weapon, so slashing marks or maybe cut off limbs. First off, I'm just gonna comment on that. If they're really gonna make Battlefront more of a game where you can cut off limbs and stuff, like not where it's emphasized on cutting off limbs, like like games like Assassin's Creed or whatever, I guess you could say. Why did I even mention that? Someone's probably gonna correct me on that. But like if they're gonna cut off limbs, do it like The Force Unleashed 2 did, because like people's heads and their arms fly off, but it's like no blood spurts out or anything. But I also heard another thing about lightsabers, is that lightsabers, basically, I heard that lightsabers, like, when they cut something off, like, skin-wise, I heard that it, like, heals the wound or something, or, like, it stops, like, everything from, like, coming out or something. I heard some weird thing like that, and that's why, when some people have lost things in, like, Star Wars, like, it doesn't really show, like, blood spurting out, or else they would just die. But that's what I've heard. Someone can comment on that, I guess. Correct me if you want. Not only should there be the faction versus faction battles, but some planets may have a third party. For example, if you were on Kashyyyk playing as the Republic, not only would you fight alongside the Wookiees, but you could have the chance to also play as them and use their vehicles, like on Revenge of the Sith. So if a battle is on a planet with a race on it, the race can be played as in the battle. See, that's another thing, like they had Hunt in. I didn't really like Hunt, but I thought it was really cool. I'm gonna go to one more thing here. Battles from land to space should be continuous. No cutscenes for going between land and space. This would allow for great land to space battles. To be honest, I'd rather have the option to turn off or on the cutscenes, because I don't get why, but everyone just hated that. But I'm gonna make a second part to this video, so stay tuned. It's not like I can't go over 15 minutes, but I doubt you guys want to really listen to me go on for another 15 minutes. So I'll just make a part 2 to this video, and for now, just wait for the next part. And Star Wars needs more Battlefront. Oh no! Goodbye.